You used to call me on my. You used to. Yeah. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Hyrule Tech. My name is Joey, and today I'm going to be talking about the new album slash playlist that Drake released called More Life. And here to talk to me about this and guide me along and add discussion to this review is my good friend Eric, or he is commonly known on YouTube as VentonTyphlo.
Commonly is not the right word, Joey.
Well,
Not
I
many people
couldn't.
know the name VentonTyphlo yet. Keyword yet in the
Yeah,
sense,
but when More Life is like considered like a retro album and people are looking up reviews on what people thought at the time for this review, and then they look at this review, they'll be like, "Oh, Venton Typhlo did that way back in the day?"
and then they're gonna find my Pokemon videos and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna become a Pokemon fan." And they're gonna
Exactly, and
dedicate their
then
entire life just to train in Pokemon to come and fight me at this
so
final
that they can be the
showdown.
very best.
Yeah, and then they're still gonna lose to me. I'm gonna go, you
There
need
you
more
go.
training, young grasshopper. And then I'll just fade away into the distance.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna talk about this album, what we liked, what we didn't like, what was interesting, basically whatever we want to talk about. So let's start off with just overall thoughts, I guess. So
Am I?
initially,
Oh, my
what are
bad.
my bad.
I don't.
What are your initial thoughts?
um, it's it was definitely overhyped at the beginning, but after listening to it multiple times, dedicating I don't know an entire 7-hour school day to listening to this album multiple times, I'd say it like I don't know it stuck with me I guess a little bit more. It like I can't think of the word. What's that word where it like it grows on
Resonates?
yeah it resonates grows on you and you're just like yo it's actually pretty good. So it took me a while to realize the beats, the flows, some of the features like Young Thug killing every single verse he was on. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. That's what I have to say.
So my first listen through, I had like a 3 hour car ride, so I was able to listen for quite a while. And during the first listen through, I hated every single song until Blem, which is number 7 on this playlist out of 22. So I listened to all the hyped up songs. I listened to Free Smoke, and I was like, all right, that was fine, I guess. Then I listened to No Long Talk, and I couldn't even get through it. And we'll get back to that song later. And then I went on to Passion Fruit, and I was like, okay, this might be something. And I basically just went through, and then I got to Blem, and then Blem is when I actually was like, all right, this is actually something I'd expect on an album that would be good. So Blem was really good, and then I kept going along, and there were like some highlights, but there were on this album there's like more highlights within songs than actual like good songs like overall,
Yeah.
and
And
I feel like that's a like reoccurring theme. So Blem was good, and then the next like 3 or 4 songs was like then Portland was good, and then everything after Portland was good
mm. Hey, so
besides KMT because gigs, because
yeah.
I don't know who this guy is,
Uh,
but he's never gonna be on another album again. I promise you that. And if he is, it's not gonna sell well because the people are gonna be like, "Oh no, not gigs." It's like Gibby from iCarly. Like nobody liked
yeah.
Gibby on iCarly because he just took his shirt off. It was always irritating. That's what people feel about gigs in the
Nah,
music industry. They're like,
it's
they
like
see gigs and they're like, "Get out of here."
it's like Neville Longbottom, yeah. It's like nobody
Yeah,
wants
this is
it.
Neville Longbottom, the main character from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Greg. Yep, that's gigs.
The
They have a
worst part
G.
about KMT is that the first like 8 or 16 bars Drake. I don't know if he legit ripped off, but you know they do XXX Tentacion or whatever.
I do not. Oh,
Oh
I saw about that though.
yeah,
I saw a tweet about that. How it was like, "Hey, can I copy your homework?" And it was like, "Yeah, just make sure to change it up a little." And it was like the original dude, and then it showed KMT.
yeah, because he was like
I remember that.
something kinking my dick in my pants, and then like Drake said something about like catching my bands and something like that. And so he kind of ripped him off, and then Giggs just came in and just. I'm not even gonna continue that. Actually, let's just move on from Giggs.
Okay, so basically after that, so Portland was good, Sacrifice is good, everything was good. Um, Yeah, so like I said, overall, after my first listen, I was like, okay, there were some highlights. So I kept listening to it, you know. I still think Free Smoke is trash. Like
It's
for being the first song on like the album, usually you expect something really good, and it was so hyped up, and like the initial like press and stuff is like, oh, Free Smoke, man, it's gonna be so great, and then you got to it, and I was like, I mean,
yeah,
okay,
it's just like an average song. I don't know.
okay. So do you want to talk about? We'll talk about songs we like. We'll like put highlights, and then we'll go through like the stuff we didn't like.
Okay,
So
well,
what were some standouts for you that you actually did like?
definitely passion fruit just because that's a solid song. I mean, it's like a one dance type song, you know. I was in Spanish class and I was like about to get up and start salsing for real, and I was like, wait a minute, let me wait for, let me wait till my whole class is listening to More Life, and then when they see me start salsing, they'll know. They'll just be like, oh, I know. And then I'll just
Yeah,
like
so
unplug
Passion
my
Fruit was good.
headphones, play it out loud. Everybody else start. No, I'll just play it. But I really liked Georgia Interlude and Get It Together, which had Georgia Smith and some other person, Black Coffee, I think. That's just like me. I just
Okay.
like slower, a female vocalist that can actually sing, and so like I just really like that.
Okay.
Gloucester was cool. It had a hard beat, but it had a nice beat, but like when it would hit, cause I forgot what he would say. He'd say something about like, wait, what did he say?
I don't
Ice
remember.
blue. She said something, and it said like ice blue mint or something, and then like the beat was supposed to drop, and like it didn't really drop very hard, but like it was supposed to be a drop, so like it could have been improved there, but it was pretty good, I guess.
Okay.
Sacrifices were cool, but like uh, Big Sean had a Sacrifices on his I Decided album, and so like I had to keep going back and forth and comparing which Sacrifices I liked more.
Mhm.
Because Big Sean's had it was Big Sean and Migos, and so he had like all three Migos, like Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff, and
Mhm.
then Drake's had what was it Quavo?
2 Chains and Young
Yeah,
Thug.
2 Chainz and Young. And so like they were pretty different, but they were both good. Like I couldn't decide which one I liked better.
Right.
I think that's really it, except for Do Not Disturb, which I think I told you before. It has female vocalists in the back of like with the beat,
Right.
and so I just it was good. It was good in my opinion.
Okay. All right. My favorite songs. Passion Fruit's pretty good. As I listen to it more, then I'm like actually starting to like it more. Blem's a really good song. I like that one. My only problem with Blem and Passion Fruit is I feel like I'm gonna get irritated with them really quickly
Mm-hmm.
because of how repetitive they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I worry about that. Portland was pretty cool. Nothing's into some things. That's the one where he's talking about the girl marrying someone, right?
Yeah, I
Or
think
is
so.
that can't have everything?
No, can't have everything. I think he was talking about like, oh, I don't remember. I think he was talking about like money and like how he wanted more and more, but he can't have all this, and then
Okay, yeah, so nothing's into some things. I'm pretty sure is the one where it was talking about like there was this girl, and if it is the song I'm thinking of, then it was like super deep and it like came out of nowhere. Because you
mm,
came off of like Portland, which was a hype song, and Sacrifices, and then you went into that, and then it was just like it like hit you out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, he's like calling people out and stuff. So that was
yeah,
pretty good. Teenage Fever is growing on me, but I would consider it one of my favorites. KMT featuring Neville Longbottom, so don't even need to talk about that one. Lose You was basically Drake going off on people,
yeah,
but it was actually pretty good. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. Can't Have Everything. Well, I got it confused with another song, so I guess it wasn't fantastic. That I just haven't listened to it
can't
enough,
have
but that
everything
was fine.
had a fire beat though, and it had some solid
Uh,
punchlines.
yeah.
I don't know
If I remembered it, then I'm sure I would be defending it.
yeah.
Glow with Kanye. That was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good song. Fake Love. I mean, if you don't like that song, then I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And then Since Way Back with Party Next Door. I liked it, but I didn't like the main part. Because, like,
Yeah.
the main part with Party Next Door was trash, and then Drake had his verse, and it was alright, but then, like, Since Way Back is a 6 minute song, and it cuts off, and then it starts again, and then it's just Drake, and then Drake has, like, another verse. and that verse is the one that's good. So like I said before, there's like a lot of things on this album where it's like a highlight part, but not a highlight song.
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying. Like every song with gigs, like Drake's part was a highlight, and then gigs. No, just playing, but
I mean, Neville Longbottom, we were like, all right, next song.
yeah,
I'm just gonna go in and like trim all my songs so that the part with gigs is gone.
I
I'm
was,
gonna go edit it all out. I'm gonna post on YouTube versions of No Long Talk and KMT without gigs, with
yeah,
gigs removed.
that'd be so. I'd feel so bad if I was gigs and I saw that. I'd be like, damn. But I really liked every feature on the album except for probably gigs.
Yeah, I thought everything was fine.
You know, 2 Chainz, Quavo. Um, there were a whole bunch of people. Travis Scott, Young Thug, Georgia Smith, all of them I really liked.
Yeah, they were all really good. I personally didn't like Party Next Door as much as the song that Drake is featured on that Party Next Door has. I don't remember what it's called.
Recognize?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But that one's good.
Yeah, I like Party Next Door sometimes, but like his flow is kind of the same in every single song. It's
And
like a
that's what I'm
slow
starting
R&B
to
type.
realize.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you want to talk about major problems with the album now?
Gigs, end of story. Just turn off the video. No, just play.
This has been Hyrule Tech. Thank you for watching.
In my literally in my notes that I had when I was like listening to each song one by one, no long talk. I just put trash emojis just because that's how bad it was in my opinion.
I agree. So my least favorite song on the album is No Long Talk, which is second, and basically it has gigs on it for one, but gigs isn't even the problem in this one. Okay, I don't think I even got to gigs part, because Drake's going for like this like Jamaican interpretive type trash thing where he's like trying to have a Jamaican accent, and I don't understand why. Like, did he lose a bet or something?
My ting, my ting. I'm gonna start saying ting.
Ting.
Ting 1 and Ting 2.
And he talks like a Jamaican, and I was like, "What are you doing? I came here to listen to Drake, not Bob Marley mixed with Drake, rapping some song with a man named Giggs."
We don't even mention his name. He's like Voldemort. We don't mention him. We just kind of forget about
Neville Longbottom.
Yeah.
So that one was, I really didn't like that one because I was just like, why? And then you want to talk about the ad lib part that bothered you?
Oh man, like the ad libs in the songs didn't they just didn't have anything to give to the songs. Like it was just like you throw some random quote in there, but then the song was just completely different. And it
Yeah.
didn't have any like recurring theme in the album. It wasn't like telling a story. It was just like random people just saying random stuff. And then Drake
And that's
rapping about
why-
random other things.
And that's why I feel like he labeled it a playlist instead of an album
Mm.
to like cover his butt because he like made a bunch of good songs, or at least he thought it was good. I mean, I hope him and Giggs aren't friends because if this is reoccurring, I'm not gonna be listening to Drake much
Well, they are
longer.
on the same
But
label,
anyways,
and that's the only reason why Giggs is on the album.
great.
So he could.
The
come
label
back.
needs to drop it.
They need to.
Everybody contact OVO and tell them get Giggs out of here.
They need to give him the pink slip, dude. He gotta go.
But anyways, I think that's why they labeled it a playlist instead of an album, so then that way they could be like, oh yeah, it doesn't need to have a reoccurring theme. But even like the ad libs, they didn't even have like context within their own songs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it just.
Like Lil Wayne just like randomly showed up, was like, hey, I'm here to talk about more life, and then he like, you hear his like lighter, and then that's it,
Yeah.
and then like that's the end of the song.
I don't know.
So
know
it
what they
made
were
every
doing.
single song longer. And there was one that had like a 45-minute message, and it was some random girl talking, and it was like she left a voicemail. And it was like one of those like cheesy things where, you know, when radio stations like start playing like voicemails
I
that
know
people
what you're
left when they're like
talking
prank
about.
calling people, and they're like, "Hi, this is so and so. I just want to talk because I'm worried about you, and you haven't called me since our last date, and blah blah blah." That's literally what it sounded like. It was like 45 minutes, and she was just talking. I was like, "Where did this come from?"
Yeah,
And that's what sucks is there's a 6-minute song. And
I,
that's not even the one that has ad lib in it.
yeah, that's not even the one with all the ad libs and stuff.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like how it all flows, and I like how all the music like interloops. So if you're just listening to it and it's not on shuffle, then all of it just flows, and you can't even like recognize when most of the songs like go
Yeah,
into
I
a
really liked
one.
that aspect of
That
it.
was really cool, and that caught me off guard because I was listening to this one song and I was like, all right, this is cool. And then I was like, dear God, I was like, this is like the fourth verse for this song. I was like, how long is it? And then I realized that I was like 2 songs ahead, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
all right.
I liked how it was doing that. It was definitely cool.
So that was cool, but the ad libs I could have done without because I wasn't trying to listen to a thing off of some e-reader website where I can't read in the car because I get car sick. No, I'm listening to my book in the car.
I'm telling you, it's like downloading the official music video off like the YouTube converter.
Yeah, exactly. From like a Taylor Swift music video where you have to hear her interacting with guy number 28 before she
Yeah,
drops him and then sings a song about it.
exactly. That's exactly
Yeah,
what happened.
exactly. And that made me mad. So I was like, it was ruining the vibe of the overall album, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna
The
just
overall
like, oh
was
wait,
being ruined because of the people talking.
yeah, but I'm gonna just mention a couple albums that also released in 2017 that I thought I should compare. First of all,
Okay,
I decided Big Sean by Big Sean. I don't know if you listened to that album or any of it.
I did not.
Um, Basically, that album is Big Sean. Um, he's an old man in his ad libs or whatever, and he's like talking to God, and he's like, "Dang, I really messed up." And so the whole entire album is, he's looking back, like as if he was an old man, looking back to where he is right now, and telling himself what he needs to do and like to progress and like all these different things he has to do. And so he used ad libs, and he had his mom on a couple of them, and he had his friends like talking, and he was talking. He had like an old like
Man.
version, and so it was really really good how he used the ad libs, and it didn't really take away from the music. And I feel like if Drake, he could have easily had the ad libs going in the songs if they just actually added something of value kind of to the songs. And so I really liked Big Sean, and that's why it was my favorite album of 2017. And looking at More Life, it's kind of like in the bottom right now for me. Just
Yeah, More Life is not will not be my favorite album of the year. I know that already.
and I don't know if you listened to any of the Culture album by Migos, but
I did not.
that album, it was basically just Migos ripping on every track, just killing every single beat with their same style flow where they kind of repeat the same thing sometimes, maybe a little bit.
Hmm.
And so like I don't
And that's
know.
one thing that Drake does really well is that for the most part he has a different vibe throughout every song.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a different vibe and having a Jamaican accent. There's a difference. There's
Yeah.
a difference between being yourself and trying to be Bob Marley,
Yeah,
while also
or
being a rapper.
that dude Shaggy who sang that song. Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but like that song or that album I really liked, and comparing it to More Life, I don't really know which one I like better because Drake had some fire beats, but so did the Migos. And then the thing Drake brings compared to a lot of other rappers is he, like you said, he kind of has like his own vibe in each song. Like he brings like unique stuff, and he
Right.
doesn't really repeat himself, and he's always being original. That's what I really liked about him. That was
Yeah,
just
it'll
a
be interesting to see what songs off of this album go mainstream, or if any go mainstream.
mm, I bet you Free Smoke is gonna be on the
I'm
radio
hoping
tomorrow.
if Free Smoke's on the radio, I'm changing the station.
Yes,
Passion Fruit I'm okay with,
Passion Fruit's gonna get
but I mean,
overplayed.
obviously, I think that the best song off of the album is Fake Love, but they released that one a while ago,
Yeah.
so
The thing I really liked about it is because I listened to it a lot when it first came out, and then I took a long break before I listened to it again. Then when More Life came out, and I listened to it, it sounded like it was the first time for me listening to it again. So I was able to like
but they
actually
ruined
like it
that one
again.
too.
Yeah.
Did you hear at the end of Fake Love? There's like, cause I had it. I had that song before, so I
Mhm.
got the album at like a discount because it was like complete the album because you already have Fake Love. So I got like $1 off, and I was like, oh sweet. But it changed my song. I don't even have the same version anymore. Now there's random ad lib at the end.
Yeah. His ad libs are not. They're not living up to what they should be.
But yeah, it was nice listening to it because like I mean, it did flow with everything. It flowed with Since Way Back. It just flowed right into Fake Love. But then it was just random ad libs. Like if they weren't even in the original song. They added something to the song to make it flow with the rest of this playlist or whatever.
Yeah, and it still didn't really flow at all. Um, well, do you have any final thoughts on the album?
I'm probably going to keep listening to it just to, kind of. I'll probably still listen to my favorites.
Yeah,
I'll listen to the entire album probably one or two more times just to try and, give it a fair shot and keep listening to it. But I don't think my opinions are going to change much based off of what I've said here because, I think
yeah,
everything's kind of solidified.
yeah. I kind of feel the same way. Do you have? Should we do like a rating out of 10? Like, what would you rate this album out of 10? As like one final thing. For me, I'd probably say
I'm gonna say a 7.
I was gonna say yeah, a 6 or a 7, just because like
And seven's not bad,
yeah,
Don't think that a seven's bad, but when it comes to what this could have been, like the ratio of good songs to meh songs to bad songs, I feel like this is a solid 7 out of 10.
yeah. Like I just really liked all the beats, and I like Drake's flows, but like they didn't really because I was expecting it to be an album that like kind of I don't know what the word is like they mixed together well and like they had that
Intertwined.
yeah intertwined. They had that theme going around, and it was kind of just like DJ Khaled's Major Key album from last year, where it was just a whole bunch of random people on the album,
Yep.
all kind of like doing that. But
But even that album was better than
yeah,
this.
that album was good. I can't even
I
lie.
loved Major Key. Oh my.
Major Key was good, but
DJ Khaled Major Key album, that was fantastic. That
yeah,
that one's a 9 out of 10.
that's definitely up
The
there.
only reason I didn't like that album was the random Mexican song.
The last song of the album was so random and bad.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah. I
We'll
guess.
save these thoughts for maybe another video.
Yeah. All right. Well, are you gonna outro? Am I gonna outro? What's going on? What's going on? It's kind of running long.
Plug the social media.
Okay, I guess you can follow me on Twitter, but you probably don't want to unless you're an anime fan, because you'll probably get tired of me after like a day. Um, you can
I
check
have
out my
notifications
YouTube.
turned on for you, and you're weird as
I'm
heck,
not
man.
that weird, dude. Like I just
Nah, that's
retweet
fine.
funny stuff, but I guess you can check out my YouTube if you want. I almost said you can check out your YouTube, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense if it's on
I'd
your
hope you were
YouTube.
checking out my YouTube. If you're pirating this, then please give me money.
True. Leave a like on the video. You can
Yeah, leave
comment
a
your
like.
opinions if you wanna. If you ever want to get into a Skype call, you could just hit us up on Twitter and or just the comment section, and we'll discuss.
Get you
We'll
in on
discuss
further
music.
conversations.
Yeah.
You gotta check on Twitter because if Eric and I are doing a collab, usually we come up with the idea on Twitter in the spur of the moment and then do
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So,
That's exactly what happens. So,
so if you want to be included in a discussion, then you can comment down below and give us your thoughts, or even
or,
hit us up and say, hey, you want to be in the Skype call, and then we're
or
down.
ideas that you have in the future. What like
Yeah.
yeah, but I guess that's gonna be it.
Yep. This has been Joey with Hyrule Tech talking about more life with Eric from also known as VentonTyphlo. Hopefully one day will be commonly known as VentonTyphlo.
Hopefully one day I will be known. They will call me Vincent at least. But
I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out the channel, check out Eric's channel, and look for more stuff soon. Deuces.